walkthrough of the issue that's happening on production. Now, it could be that this is related to data or some sort of logical issue with IDs, because we have multiple IDs for a task, right? We have the published ID and we have the sort of natural index in the database for that task. The reason we have that is because we want to have each product having a sequential ID for tasks. So we want tasks 81, 82, 83, 84, for example, to belong to openunited, and another product to also be able to have those same IDs. So we have the concept of a published ID, which is a sort of auto-incrementing ID that's scoped to the product. And then obviously that each task has its own ID that's just a, like sequence in Postgres. So let's have a quick look and figure out we'll see what we can figure out. So if I change it from this view, which is the task detail view, let's say, and I change this task from high to low, what we should see is that we made a GraphQL request to mutate the task priority, which is there, and you can see we passed in task ID 102, and we changed it to low, and I can change it back to high again. Let's change it to medium. And you'll see in the payload 102 medium. Right now, if I go back to the home page, it's this task here, this create task for preview of Loom videos. You'll see it's medium. Now over here, if I clear this, and this can be data related in production. It's one idea of what's causing it, right? Why it can't be reproduced on the dev environment, for example, because the data is mixed up somehow in the task listing model or something else. But watch this. So I'll change this from medium to high. Now we get a 200. So it thinks that it worked. What's interesting to me is that it's passing in the wrong task ID, right? So it's passed in task ID 39 to the same GraphQL endpoint. Change task priority, right? Which is the same one that we were using here, change task priority. But over here on this task detail view, we passed in task ID 102, whilst on the home page we passed in task ID 39. So that's a clue that something weird is going on, right? And that could be, I don't know where this ID is coming from. It's probably coming from published ID field on the task listing model, and we created the task listing model to sort of denormalize the database structure a bit for the homepage to make it way faster, which was necessary. So it might be some sort of data mix-up here that's causing it, but I think also, so let's assume that was true, right? Then this is a new task that I just created yesterday, right? Task 84. So can I change its status? Let's say I change it to medium. Its priority? No, I can't. So that's concerning, right? So why is it? So let's open up that one. So this one has a published ID of 84, and let's have a look at what's going on the network. So if I try and change this from high to medium, you'll see a GraphQL call. Here's the payload. Again, calling that GraphQL endpoint, passing in task ID 190, right? And then let's see from here, from the home page. So I'll just confirm that. Let's change it to low. 164. That's weird, right? So over here I'm passing in 190, and over here from the home page I'm passing in 164. So there's some sort of mistake somewhere, maybe in the task listing model, or the population of that model, perhaps, or some other sort of logic issue that seems to be resulting in the wrong task ID then being passed in. So I'm probably actually modifying the priority of some other task that I have access to, because I'm getting a 200 back, and that's what's going on. So somewhere else on this board, there's some other task whose status is changing, which is probably I can maybe right. So that would be 164 over here. Yeah, so I'm probably actually changing the status of this one. Let's see. This is low. That's 164, right? 164. Yeah. So let's have some fun. So let's try and change this one to high, right? Now I think we just changed. I think we just sent a request to change task 164 to high, right? Now this is task 164 before, it's low. Let's reload the page. Yeah, see it's high. So exactly that is happening. So there's some sort of logic issue that's resulting in the wrong IDs being sent. Let me just change that back to low in the admin console. There's some sort of issue here with the IDs that are getting passed, presumably from the task listing model. But that's what we have to investigate. Thanks.